slide your chair over, Robert. Please rise, join us in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Moines County Board of Supervisors, Tuesday, March 24th. This is another digital meeting, so please bear with us. Let me start off if there's a phone number or an email account that's listed on the agenda. If anything that I'm doing is not clear, or you have any questions, feel free to ask. I've set up my iPad here to receive any emails. So, are there any changes to the tentative agenda?
Have none.
I have none other than, I don't even know if it needs to be on the agenda, but each week we'll probably have like a little update to the COVID-19, whatever it is, you know, what might have changed since yesterday or 2 days ago. I don't know if that's something we need to put on the agenda, or just or we just want to leave that as meet with department heads, elected officials, maybe.
Or we could do that in correspondence.
Or you could do that in correspondence, or well, I'd like to get it earlier in the maybe in the future, because there's things were changing as of yesterday. So if we just put a regular down for a while after meet with department heads, elected officials, and we can have a COVID-19 updates. No changes to the agenda. Meet with department heads, elected officials. I'm going to call off names. Do you have a list of who's on there, Colin? I'll tell you what, Colin will read me a name, and I will ask if there are any updates from that department head. Who do you got on top, Colin?
Rodney's on here.
Maintenance, Rodney Bleachner. Do you have any comments, Rodney?
Good morning.
Good morning.
Just got a couple agenda items. Other than that, that's all I have at this time. I guess I do have one thing. Would remind everybody that we do have a drop box here at the courthouse. It is in the north entry vestibule area, the handicap entrance on the south side of the courthouse. So I know that's kind of changed since last Tuesday. So we do have the exterior door is unlocked, so people can come in to that little vestibule area and drop some paperwork off if they need to. We've been doing that since late last week, so it seems to be working out. But I just want to bring that up and remind everybody that that is available now. Other than that, that's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Rodney.
Thanks, Rodney. Brian.
Brian Carter, Secondary Road.
So can you hear that all right?
Hold on just a second, Brian. We're getting a lot of feedback. What caused it?
He's going to want to mute the meeting on his side, probably. He's probably listening to it on his computer. I imagine through a speaker. He probably needs to just mute it on his side.
Can you mute that on your side?
Is that better?
Yeah.
I took it off speakerphone. Did that help?
That does.
All right. Just a quick update on some projects that are going on. Our rocking program's going on. County trucks are hauling, and the contract rock haul's going. They're on Irish right now, and they'll be moving to South Prairie, and then obviously going on from there. So things are moving there. You guys are aware, but there is a project going on at the airport, and it has beat up a couple roads down south, 60th Street and down around the airport there. I guess it's got a couple different names. So we're keeping an eye on it. The contractor's been good to work with. So we're just going to have to get through it, and hopefully the worst of it will be done sometime at the very beginning of next week, and we can get it shaped back up. Then, North Gear is closed and the contractor has started. They have all the concrete on the hill on the far north end removed. And so hopefully they'll get it cored out, get the rock placed, and maybe start pouring concrete next week. So you're aware of that. And then talk to the contractor that's gonna work on the bridges on Mediapolis Road, and they're hoping to start the week of April 13th. So that'll obviously be a closure. So just wanted to pass that on, and I guess I'm gonna real quick give my yearly reminder. It's obviously people are hoping to be politicians. They're moving on with putting signs up. There are a lot of signs with a lot of different names that are showing up out in the right of way, and the code says that has to be on private property. So I want to pass that on because that is something that I get complaints about.
Brian, just a second, is that something that the auditor's office maybe just call the people that, maybe call all the candidates and just remind them?
Yeah, all the candidates will just have to be reminded that.
If maybe if you could.
If they don't know where the right of way is, then they need to call Brian and find out for sure, but it's usually behind, between the telephone poles and the person's house. It's the most logical place to place those, not right next to the ditch.
Normally they don't draw a complaint if they'll get back there, like you said, towards the telephone poles or back towards the backside of the ditch. Quite a few in the last week are showing up right up by the shoulder of the road. And those are the ones that, everybody's watching because of the party affiliation or the name or whatever other reason there is. So I just wanted to mention it.
Thanks, and, I think one of the problems is each election season, there's new candidates that haven't run before and, probably not as familiar as they should be with some of those rules. But, yeah, maybe if somebody could just contact the people.
If I have their information, I'll
Oh.
try to get a hold of them.
Email or something like that, yeah.
Or contact party headquarters.
That's a thought. You could contact the party headquarters.
Read the rules that are in there when you file the papers.
Yep.
Thank you,
I
Brian.
just wanted to mention it because it's at the front end of it, but I have seen maybe even more than a normal year. So just wanted to mention it. And that's all I have. Thank you.
Actually, in the silver lining vein, the road work, there's not as much traffic right now, so that might
I would agree with that. I think that's that we have noticed less traffic. People are still moving around, but I definitely think when you go close a road like North Gear, if we were just operating as normal, we would be impacting a lot more people. So there is some benefit to that.
Okay. Thank you, Brian. Who we got next?
Chris Lee, Conservation.
Chris Lee, Conservation.
Can you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So really not a lot to update you. All of our offices obviously are still closed. We are proceeding with opening the parks. The campgrounds will be open, and we are welcoming park visitors. We just ask that they follow the health department CDC guidelines of social distancing. We stay home if you're sick or have been sick or have been to areas where you could have gotten sick. And we'll have more information on that coming out here soon in our newsletter. I've got a column coming out in the paper on Friday. Yeah, we are welcoming people to the parks. We just ask that they stay separated, to the degree that they need to stay safe. And then just recognize that the buildings and facilities like the shower house will not be open. We're also debating whether or not to fence off our playground up there at Big Hollow. As a parent myself, I know if you go up there and there's a playground standing out there in the open and there's not a fence around it, you're gonna have a heck of a time keeping kids from climbing all over it. That just seems like a really good way to spread the virus. So we're looking into that. I'm not real sure what we'll do there. That's actually one of the things I'm working on right now. But, otherwise, you know, we're just kind of out in the parks, you know, getting things open like we would at this time of year. It's kind of nice, you know, the nature of our business, we're kind of separated anyway. You know, we have acres between us rather than feet, so that works out pretty well. So, and then it looks like we're buckled down getting ready for some more river flooding. So, you know, that's not really gonna change a whole lot. I mean, we don't have docks out anyway, and we were expecting this, but, it's getting to be that time of year, so we're ready for it. Other than that, I think that's about it for now.
Mr. Chairman, got a message here from Leah that says that, we're hard to hear, and, it's for you.
Okay.
That we're hard to hear and, impossible to hear Colin and Terry. But the call-ins are good. Hear
We-
them well.
We'll speak up. And, well, maybe I'll just repeat, if I ask you a question, or you a question, I'll just sort of repeat what was said, maybe that'll take care of that. Thank you, Chris.
Crystal Poggenmiller, Public Health.
Krista Poggenmiller, Public Health.
Good morning. Can you hear me okay?
We can.
Okay. All right. So, well, obviously we're keeping pretty busy with the COVID situation that's going on. Our public health department itself has gone down to essential services only. Obviously our doors are locked. People can still call in for things like immunizations and STD testing if they need to, but we're not doing any walk-in clinics. Our environmental health services are also on essential services, and that's kind of being done on a case-by-case basis because to protect, you know, our visitors as well as our staff here. We are updating the Moines County website regularly, try to keep everyone informed on what's going on. We also have recently opened up a Des Moines County Public Health Facebook page, and so we're trying to do as much posting and social media with the current information, which continues to be a very fluid situation, and so we're definitely trying to get as much information out there. Working with Gina, she is going to talk about opening up the Emergency Operations Center, and other than that, we're just following up with different calls from the community about questions. People can always call the 211 line, or they can also call our local health department, and we do we try to get them answers on questions, and also the same for our departments.
Okay, Krista, could you repeat for my benefit, you're performing only essential services only? Which services are not available right now?
So, as far as all of our, at this point in time, we are no longer performing our homemaker services unless they are essential needs. So if we had someone we are actually helping with grocery shopping, that would be considered an essential need. But if we're just doing light housekeeping, those services we're no longer doing at this point. We're suspending those services for the protection of our clients as well as our staff. We're going by our emergency preparedness plan, or I'm sorry, our emergency plan that we've enacted for our department. Environmental health services, the same thing. It's on a case-by-case basis and really focusing on essential needs services, such as if someone had a situation where we would need to go out and do inspection of some sort, but we're not able to take permits applications online, so that would mean they would have to come into the office. So at this point in time, again, we're doing that on a case-by-case basis. Services like our lead inspection, the state has actually suspended those. Again, trying to eliminate as much face-to-face contact as possible, but we definitely are doing our social distancing if we need to make visits.
Okay. Thank you, Krista.
You're welcome.
Either of you gentlemen have any questions?
No.
Who's
Gina Harden, Emergency Management.
Gina Harden, Emergency Management.
Good morning.
Morning, Gina.
Hear me?
Yes, we can. We can hear you, Gina.
All right. As
Krista said, we are monitoring, the whole COVID-19 situation, along with, as Chris mentioned, the river flooding. It looks like the river is gonna come up and stabilize. So, around 17.1, I think was what I read this morning. City of Burlington has put up some HESCOs, and they're monitoring the situation at the moment. And if the river decides to go higher, they will obviously put up more HESCOs. Two Rivers, north of town, is also doing the same thing. They're monitoring the river situation. On the whole COVID thing, again, we are monitoring. We have a system called Web EOC that we can monitor what other counties are doing and what the state is doing. And we share our information with Iowa Homeland Security and Emergency Management, and they ultimately share it with all the state agencies, the Governor's Office, Iowa Department of Public Health, etc. Krista and I have been coordinating with the hospital, local emergency responders, trying to get information out in addition to keeping the public informed, etc. The governor has announced several programs for businesses over the last couple days, and I know the Greater Burlington Partnership has been getting some of that information out and doing a great job with that, and we're trying to do the same thing through our Facebook page and etc. We did receive a designation for the Small Business Administration of the SBA program for businesses, and the businesses that contacted us when we put out the request for information and need, we did send them that link directly to apply for that program. And I believe you are also all aware that Iowa has been declared a disaster area, and with that, we have public assistance funding for costs associated with that program. So that webinar, for those that are interested in applying, is tomorrow. If anyone is interested from a governmental entity or nonprofit, there's a bunch of other agencies that are eligible. I'd have to pull out the list, but it's like a 2-page list of eligible entities, which is a lot different than what we normally have with a disaster declaration for weather-related events. So that is tomorrow, so if anyone needs that information or might be interested in applying, they really need to participate in that webinar, and they can get a hold of me and I can send them that information. And the last thing I have for you is at 10 o'clock this morning, we are going to open our virtual emergency operations center. We are going to do that through Zoom. I sent out the link to join that to the police chiefs, fire chiefs, medical director, chair of the Emergency Management Commission, and to you, Tom, as chair of the Board of Supervisors. If you wish to join us in that environment, we'll be here monitoring at least the next 4 days, and we'll decide what we're doing on the weekend, probably on Friday. That's totally new for us to do that virtually, so please be patient with us as we work through those little details. That's all I had.
As I told you yesterday, Gina, I took a YouTube tutorial on the use of Zoom, so we'll see how much I can contribute. We'll try it later today.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
Thank you, Gina.
Ken Hyman, Community Services.
Ken Hyman, Community Services.
Hello, can you hear me?
We can.
Okay, yeah. The Southeast Iowa Link region is starting to set up contracts. During the month of March, we're scheduled to start calling contracted providers and setting up those contract meetings. So from March 31st through the month of April, we've scheduled all the contract meetings with providers. but we're gonna do it through the Zoom meeting process, just like you're talking about. We're gonna, try that this year. So they're all scheduled, and we hope that, we can, start that on March 31st. That's all I have for now.
Thank you, Ken.
Mike Johnstone, Des Moines County Sheriff, but I'm not sure if he has a mic connected or not, if he's just listening, so.
Mike, if
Good
Johnston,
morning.
Des Moines County Sheriff,
Good morning, can you hear me?
we can.
You can hear me, okay, good, I wasn't sure. Hey, everything's going well, I think, the public has transitioned, very well into our closed office setting, and a few phone calls, we're taking care of business quite well there. I wanted to thank, Krista and Gina for all the extra help they're giving us. I've had, Krista come over and speak to my staff about some things we can do to be safe. She also provided us with some equipment, which has been a big help. I think my office is becoming very safe internally with dealing with this situation, and my people are also staying as safe as they possibly can. So we're moving forward, and we're dealing with it the best we can. Like I say, it's a ever-changing environment that we're in, and we're trying to stay as safe as we can and still provide the service that the people want. So far, so good.
Thank you, Mike. Tell you guys be safe out
Okay.
there.
Yeah, thanks, that's all I have, thank you.
Thank you. Tell you guys to be safe out there.
Yes, we will, thanks, Tom.
Jackie Myers, Clerk of Court.
Jackie Myers, Clerk of Court.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I just want to tap on to what Mike was saying, that we're still providing emergency services to the public. The lockdown is going fairly well. Like Mike said, the public is transitioning fairly well. I have a limited staff operating. I went from 10 to 3 on first floor and 3 on third floor, including myself. So we're getting the folks the services that they need the best that we can. I do want to say thank you to Rodney and his crew for getting us the Dropbox. That gives another avenue for people to drop off payments and then prevent the face-to-face contact. But that's all I have.
Thank you.
Janelle Nally Longquist, Des Moines County Treasurer.
Janelle Nally Longquist, Des Moines County Treasurer.
Janelle, are you there?
We'll come back to you at the end. I forgot.
Lisa Schaefer, Des Moines County Attorney.
Lisa Schaefer, Des Moines County Attorney.
Hi, everyone, can you hear me?
We can.
We are just hunkering down, getting ready for the storm that will hit once the courts open. That's the best I can say. We canceled all depositions that we had scheduled for the next 4 to 6 weeks. Obviously, we cannot do them in our office, we cannot do them at the courthouse, we cannot do them at the jail. If defense attorneys are adamant that they will be done, we've directed that they will be done at their offices, and that they will have to arrange any transport of a defendant that's incarcerated. Right now, we've only had one attorney, who is adamant that the depositions we have scheduled are gonna go. They're for the middle of May, so we're optimistic that things will change and it won't be an issue. But if it is, he understands that he and his client are responsible for arrangement of transport costs. That's on them as well. But yeah, we're just kind of hunkered down, trying to get ready, for what we know will be a huge storm once we are allowed to have trials. And so trying to get everybody ready for that. I'm encouraging my staff that if they want to take vacation, now would probably be a better time than later in the spring or early summer, just because I anticipate we will be crazy busy. But other than that, we're just laying low. Thanks, Colin, for the drop box. We've had some people who've, been making payments and such, and dropping off victim impact statements and things like that. That just makes things easier for us. Otherwise, all's quiet on the home front as we watch the water get higher.
Lisa, I should have asked Mike this, how are you monitoring the, prisoners?
How are we monitoring the prisoners?
Are you, or do you know of the jail doing that, or?
We might have to get back to Mike about that.
Yeah, I know they're like limiting any, folks coming in. I actually had a phone call from Kurt Swain, who's the Assistant Public Defender in Des Moines, yesterday. They're actually surveying how jails are handling it to make sure that attorneys are able to meet with their clients or have some interaction with their clients. The last I knew, and I don't know if this has changed, but the last I knew, really the only visitation that was being had was between the inmates and their lawyers. And they were doing that in the visitation room so they could keep everything very contained to that space. But other than that, my understanding is if you want visitation with someone inside, they gotta call you. Or we could go back to letter writing.
I think they might be taking temperatures of people as they come in. That's what I see Lisa?
Yes.
One question. If, your employees are planning on taking a vacation during this, remember to plan for the, 14-day isolation period, anybody returning from out of state. If you've been out of state overnight for, business or personal reasons.
Yep, they know. I think they're more staycations than anything else. But, we have a couple people, because we're not actively doing anything, other than trial preparation and those sorts of things. We have a couple people who finish their when I have time projects. And so they're asking, can I just take some vacation time rather than sit here and not do a lot? And I think by all means. So that they're well aware of the requirements.
Thank you, Lisa.
Zach James, land use.
Zach James, land use. I can hear you beeping, Zach.
We're trying Morse code, are we, Jack?
We'll give Zach another try at the end, too.
That's all I have on the list that I see, so.
Okay, Janelle, I'm gonna come back to you. If you have anything you'd like to, if you like, you can call 753-8203, extension 4. Mike Johnstone, are you still there?
I don't see him on the list anymore.
Okay. We'll give Janelle. And that's what I think I'll do when we have the public. I'm sorry, you're here, I didn't even pay any attention to you. Terry Johnston, Des Moines County Auditor.
Hello.
I wasn't looking around the room.
I just have a few updates. Wednesday at 5 o'clock is the deadline for anybody that wants to file, candidates that wanna file for the primary election. So we will be here till 5 o'clock.
Wednesday is the deadline for any
March
candidates.
25th.
March 25th is the deadline for any candidates that wanna file for the primary election.
And they can call the office and set up an appointment so that they can bring their papers in if they need to, so.
They can call the auditor's office and set up an appointment to bring their papers in if they need to.
And then also, the Secretary of State sent out a news release or basically information for the auditors, and the June primary is still going on.
The Secretary of State sent out information that the June primary is still a go.
Yep, and also we'll probably be encouraging people to absentee vote.
We will probably be encouraging people to absentee vote.
And what we might do with our polling locations is reduce the number, combine some of them, like we did the old city school, where we had 3 locations open for the city and school elections. We will probably go back to that standard and reduce the number of precincts open for the primary.
We will probably consolidate some of our polling stations and reduce the number of those polling stations.
So, just keep in touch. We'll probably put something on the website. We will put something on the website, absentee request form, and we'll send something out to the papers too. We might even have the papers publish an absentee request form, so then that way, if somebody can fill one out and mail those in. So we'll be trying to do as much as we can. And the Secretary of State's office has also allowed for absentee ballots that are being mailed. They are gonna let us start sending those out 40 days before the election, but if we still have absentee voting in the courthouse, that cannot take place until the 29 days before. So we've got a few changes we'll be working around.
There'll be some information that'll be put on the website and furnished to the media. The Secretary of State is going to allow mail-out absentee voting 40 days prior to the election, but absentee voting in the courthouse, and we'll have to see how that goes.
Yeah.
It would still be no more than 29 days before the election. But there will be information forthcoming from the auditor.
And as soon as that final, candidate filing deadline is done, I will send to all the media the list of local candidates.
As soon as the final candidate is filed, the auditor's office will send a list of candidates to the local media. Is that close enough in interpretation?
Yep, good enough.
Colin Durst, IT. I apologize, you guys. You're sitting there and I.
That's all right. Staying super busy, a little busier than I was anticipating, to be honest. We were hoping to try to get a few projects maybe done during this downtime a little bit during the day and get some stuff upgraded and restarted, but that's kind of been a no-go. Other than that, just working on a lot of remote access assistance with a lot of the offices and any kind of, video conferencing that they need to work on, in this kind of time. And that's pretty much all I got, so.
IT is really busy. They, especially with this COVID-19, they're setting up remote access and for a number of groups in the county. And they were hopeful to be working on some other projects, but that doesn't appear like that's gonna be, there's time to make that happen. Is that?
I believe Janelle is on the line now.
Janelle Nally Longquist, Moines County Treasurer.
Good morning. Can you hear me?
We can, Janelle.
Okay. Thanks to Colin's department for getting me on here. I apologize for the fiasco earlier. Anyhow, I would just like to remind everyone that payments, property tax payments can still be made online at iowatreasurers.org or by mail or depositing it in the drop box that Rodney fixed up for us. Governor Reynolds' proclamation of disaster did order that any penalty and interest be waived for payments received from April 1st through April 16th. So this order did not suspend or otherwise alter any of the due dates for taxes. It's just that if tax payments are received from that time frame, we are to waive any interest and penalty. And the other thing I might add is motor vehicle renewals can be processed in just the same fashion, the same way, Dropbox, online, or by mail. And I think, as has already been mentioned, that the county residents are acclimating to this. We had a load of mail yesterday to process. So I would encourage anyone that has any title transfer questions to continue to call in. We are here and we'll try to help you get through the process by email, fax, whatever we can. So I guess that's all I have.
One thing, Janelle, and you had to explain it to me yesterday, you might want to touch on. If you pay by credit card, there's, I believe, a 2.25% charge on that, but if you pay by is it e-check?
E-check is only 25 cents on, and if you go online to www.iowatreasures.org, an e-check is only a quarter.
That's half of a postage stamp.
Exactly.
Okay. Thank you, Janelle.
Brian Carter.
You're welcome.
Brian Carter sent in and asked if someone leaves the state and has 14 days stay-at-home period, is that sick leave?
Yes, it would be sick leave, and quite honestly, and actually I could touch on it now. Is there anybody else on that list?
Sorry, I muted Brian, but he's got a lot of feedback, so I reviewed.
Okay, we sent out, the isolation policy. If you're out of state, come back into state. If you've been out of state overnight for either business or personal reasons, a 14-day self-isolation. If you've got any questions about self-isolation, I would encourage you to call public health. They can describe that. You can use sick leave on that. The federal government is talking about some sort of leave for COVID-19 reasons. I don't know all that. The county we are working on a COVID-19 policy or action plan. The attorney and I are hopeful that this will be ready today, that will address some of that. But yes, that is eligible for sick leave, that 14-day isolation period. Got any other questions, Bob?
I saw Zach James reconnect. He might be on there now.
Zach James, land use.
Good morning.
Good morning, Zach.
I think I need that Zoom training you took, Tom.
It's pretty high tech for you, Zach. You might have to call me with questions.
All right. First thing, I just want to let everybody know that the Planning Commission offices did close to the general public, I believe, last Thursday. We don't typically get a ton, but probably 4 or 5 kind of walk-ins a week, just asking questions or things. So I just wanted to make sure and encourage people to give us a call or send us an email. I think people are already doing that because things that we would typically get people to walk-ins for, we're seeing some phone calls and emails about it, but just want to let everybody know about that. Secondly, we do have our Board of Adjustment meeting tonight, but we have 2 variance requests, and we did set that up via Zoom, and talked to all the board members. Everybody can participate to make it that way, as well as the applicants, and we sent out a new notice to the newspaper and to all the property owners adjacent to those properties, so hopefully everything will go well, testing that out. Other than that, not a whole lot, just had a couple new inquiries on subdivisions, a couple building permit or zoning permit, I guess I should call them, requests, and just trying to stay in contact with people and keep them moving through the process.
Thank you, Zach.
You're welcome.
Okay. Correspondence.
I have
correspondence. Seeing no correspondence, we will proceed to discussion and vote. Let me start this. We've got public hearings for 3 general obligation loan agreements and public hearings for the 2021 county budget. What I think will probably work as well as anything, since the public can't be here, we'll open a public hearing, describe it, and then we'll wait 2 minutes if anybody wants to dial in. Does that sound sufficient? Anyway, there's quite often there's seldom any comment on public hearings, but to give anyone a chance, and for any county personnel on the phone, when we get to public input again. If there's anything else you would like to bring up, please use that, opportunity.
Ready for a motion?
I would entertain a motion to open the first public hearing.
I move we open the first public hearing.
Second?
Terry?
Bob Beck,
Yes.
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. Okay. We have a public hearing on a proposal to enter into a certain loan agreement in an amount not exceeding $2,750,000 for the purpose of paying costs to that extent of county health, workers' compensation, and liability insurance programs. Terry, did you receive any correspondence or regarding this?
No, I have not received any correspondence.
Is there anything the budget director would like to add? Okay, we will, 2 minutes, if we have no, public comment, we will close this public hearing. But this way, everybody gets an opportunity to call in. Jim's got a stopwatch on his phone. I was gonna have to go 1001, 1000.
Well, in the meantime, you could say what we're gonna use that loan for.
This is, the county, pays its, health insurance, workers' compensation, and liability insurance out of the debt service levy. It's sort of an accounting mechanism. It saves us about 20 cents on the county levy, and it's a loan, but it does not carry over. It's a line of credit. We borrow money if we need the money on Tuesday to pay an insurance premium. We borrow the money on Tuesday, pay it right back. Last year, we had a $1.5 million line of credit facility. Cost us less than $3,000 worth of interest. So it's minimal. Like I said, it saves about $20,000. And then that line of credit is paid off by June 30th. So when we start the new fiscal year, there's no indebtedness. So, it's an accounting mechanism to, help keep our levy down, which is, been a goal of this board, to keep downward pressure on the levy and, the county as a whole. Thanks for reminding me, Bob.
Somebody calling in?
If the public's calling in, they'd be calling in on your phone, Jim.
Move to go out.
Oh, that was yours. I thought that was,
Yeah,
okay.
that's me.
I second the motion.
Okay, Terry?
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Bob Beck,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. We need to open a public hearing, the second public hearing.
Move to open
We don't vote on that first?
No, that'll be, there's a resolution covering all three of these loan agreements.
Okay, second.
Terry?
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Bob Beck,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. The second public hearing is on a proposal to enter into a certain loan agreement in amount not to exceed $550,000 for the purpose of paying costs to that extent, of making repairs and improvements to county buildings and acquiring equipment for county buildings. This operates under the same principle as the first loan agreement. We can borrow money through we can collect money through the debt service levy and save tax dollars. We use it to make capital acceptable capital improvements or additions to county buildings. And again, we borrow the money when we need it, we pay it back, and at the end of the year, there's no debt. It's all paid off by June 30th. This program is, and things got caught up after this budget was over. I haven't really sat down to figure out how many cents. I'm sure it's between 20 and 25 cents on the levy is what it saves us. So, it's a significant lowering of the levy.
Come quite a ways toward getting our building back up in, tip-top shape.
It has. We've completed a lot of, building projects. Took care of the, parking lot out of the jail. Looked like that it disintegrated almost into a gravel parking lot in places. It'll make you the official timekeeper, Tim, that's a good job.
Timekeeper.
Is that when somebody hangs up when it's with people?
Either somebody hangs up or joins the call.
Okay.
2 minutes up, we need to close the second public hearing.
I move to close the second public hearing.
Second?
Terry?
Bob Beck,
Yes.
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. We need to open the third public hearing.
Move to open.
Second?
Terry?
Bob Beck,
Yes.
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. The third public hearing is on a proposal to enter into a certain loan agreement in an amount not to exceed $190,000 for the purpose of acquiring vehicles and equipment for the county sheriff. Again, this is the same debt service levy that, we can keep the levy down. This money's used for, primarily for vehicles for the sheriff's department. I believe it's also, we're getting some stab-proof vests for the, jail personnel, which I think is an excellent investment in this day and age. And, like Bob said, over the years, we've got, we're not being able to afford, sheriff's vehicles till they get we're on a regular schedule, and we replace vehicles on a schedule. They get several new vehicles a year to keep them on, in vehicles that are dependable and, require as little maintenance as possible. You'd think a politician would be able to talk longer than I do. You could ask my children when I was lecturing, I could go on for hours. I think that's why they both go about a state.
You know, we're doing these things, public safety it's really helped public safety by the way we've been doing things here, and I hope people really understand that. And it's a relief on the taxpayers.
Yeah. No,
Boy, when you're waiting on 2 minutes, seems like 5 or 10, doesn't it?
It's kinda like washing your hands for 20 seconds.
I don't know whether I mentioned it to somebody, I don't know if I mentioned it to Terry. I said if this YouTube video gets popular enough and we get a lot of hits and subscribers, maybe they'll monetize this. And we can use that for property tax relief when YouTube starts sending us checks. Okay, need a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Terry?
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Bob Beck,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. Okay, we have a resolution for resolution number 2020-17, expressing intent to authorize a loan agreement. Since we're here, I'm going to read this. Resolution expressing intent to authorize a loan agreement and issue bonds in an amount not to exceed $3,490,000 and providing for the levy of taxes to pay the same. Whereas sections 331.402, 331.441, and 331.442 of the Code of Iowa authorize counties to enter into loan agreements and borrow money for the purpose of paying the cost of various county insurance programs, making repairs and improvements to county buildings, acquiring equipment for county buildings, and acquiring vehicles for the county departments. And whereas the Board of Supervisors of Des Moines County, Iowa, has proposed to enter into a loan agreement in a principal amount not to exceed $2,750,000 pursuant to the provisions of sections 331.402 and 331.441 of the Code of Iowa for the purpose of paying the cost to that extent of county health workers, compensation and liability insurance program, and has published a notice and held a hearing on that proposal. And whereas the board has also proposed to enter into a loan agreement, building improvements and equipment loans agreement in a principal amount not to exceed $550,000 pursuant to the provisions of sections 331.402 and 331.441 of the Code of Iowa for the purpose of making repairs and improvements to county buildings and acquiring equipment for use in county buildings, and has published a notice and held a hearing on that proposal. And whereas the board has also proposed to enter into a loan agreement, the sheriff's vehicles and equipment loan agreement in a principal amount not to exceed $190,000 pursuant to the provisions of sections 331.402 and 331.442 of the Code of Iowa for the purpose of acquiring vehicles and equipment for the sheriff, and has published a notice and held a hearing on that proposal, and no petition has been filed requesting that an election be held on the proposal. And whereas it is necessary at this time for the board to express its intent to authorize the three loan agreements for the purposes set out above, and to express its intent to issue general obligation county purpose bonds in a principal amount not to exceed $3,490,000 to be issued in the future in evidence of the obligation of the county under those loan agreements. Now therefore be it resolved by the Board of Supervisors of Des Moines County, Iowa as follows. Section 1. The county hereby determines to enter into a general obligation county purposes loan agreement in the future, providing for a loan to the county of a principal amount not to exceed $3,490,000 for the purposes set forth in the preamble hereof. The county also determines to issue the bonds at the time such funds are needed. Section 3. For the purpose of providing for the levy and collection of a direct annual tax sufficient to pay the principal of and interest on the bonds, there is hereby ordered and levied on all taxable property in the county a direct annual tax for collection in the fiscal year beginning July 1st, 2020, sufficient to produce the amount of $3,468,284. Section 4. A certified copy of this resolution shall be filed with the county auditor, and the county auditor is hereby instructed to enter for collection and assess the tax hereby authorized. When entering such taxes for collection, the county auditor shall include this same as a part of the tax levy for debt service fund purposes of the county. And when collected, the proceeds of the taxes shall be converted into the debt service fund of the county and set aside therein as a special account to be used solely and only for the payment of the principal of and interest on the bonds, and for no other purpose whatsoever. Section 5. All resolutions or parts thereof in conflict herewith are hereby repealed to the extent of such conflict.
Move to approve resolution 2020-017.
Second.
Terry?
Jim Perry,
Yes.
Bob Beck,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. Sounds to me like there are a number of people hanging up during that dissertation, and I certainly don't blame them.
That's kind of like looking at harder.
It is, isn't it? All right, we have a public hearing for the fiscal year 2021 county budget, and again, we'll open the public hearing. I'll go through some of the budget, and then we'll wait 2 minutes after I finish for calls. But we need a motion to open the public hearing.
Move to open public hearing for county, or for our budget for 2021.
Second.
Terry?
Bob Beck,
Yes.
Jim Perry.
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. Quite often in the past, we've had a PowerPoint, and that was going to be a little awkward this morning, so not that me trying to impart some of this information isn't going to be a little awkward, but this is the way we're going to go. We've already had meetings and announced the levy rates and the amounts collected, and that's been in the paper. The state passed in the new law last year, so that's been taken care of. But this is the 2021 county budget, and I'll go through some highlights here. Expenditures by department. The Board of Supervisors, $142,786. The Auditor, $630,105. The Treasurer, $826,919. The County Attorney, $1,448,471. The Sheriff, $3,263,882. Clerk of Court, $414,966. Recorder, $343,117. Pioneer Cemetery, $28,000. Solid Waste, $138,725. Road Clearing, $32,000. Land Use, $57,000. Secondary Roads, $9,826,549. Don't spend it all in one place, Brian. Veterans Affairs, $82,618. Conservation, $991,958. Local Health, $1,252,789. Human Services, $296,197. Medical Examiner, $134,500. The Jail, $3,090,784. GIS, $221,127. Maintenance, $1,029,311. IT, $731,697. Mental Health and Disability Services, $1,817,452. The Fair, $65,000. Emergency Management, $157,455. Non-departmental, $11,338,675 for, and non-departmental for, that's, things that can't be really assigned to one department. The liability insurance, account, or auditing, the budget, the libraries, anything that spans or provides services to more than one department, which there are quite a list. Anyway, the total is $38,362,083. This didn't all of them.
I think we got.
I had it downloaded, wait here, maybe this is, I had it downloaded this morning at home, and now that I'm here, it's, I turned it off and it won't download the capital projects. Capital projects are, 20% of the budget. There's about, do you have a copy of that?
I might
I'm
have.
gonna toss that, and I just.
I have a copy of the PowerPoint, you know what I do.
Perfect, that's what I want. Thank you. Capital projects, road construction is $3,540,000. We have a remodel, and a security update for local health, $90,000. And the Highway 99 bridge, $3,400,000. That's about 20% of the budget. And the proposed road construction projects are Flint Bottom Road, $2,440,000. Upper Flint Road, paving, $430,000. Agency Road, $150,000. Highway 61 approaches, $215,000. J13 Bridge, $130,000. Irish Ridge Stars Cave paving, $60,000. Rock resurfacing, $75,000. Culvert liners, $20,000. Right of way is $20,000. So there's the $3,540,000 we're going to spend plan to spend on county roads. The levy rates, our general basic is $3.50 per $1,000 of assessed valuation. Pioneer Cemetery is 1.6 cents. The general supplemental is 50 cents. Mental Health and Disability Services is 93 cents. And the rural services That's only paid on rural property, is $3.95. The total countywide levy is $7 and just 04866, $7.05 per $1,000 of assessed taxable valuation. That's the lowest levy rate for that levy in 19 years. The total countywide rural levy is $10.99866, $11 per $1,000 of taxable valuation, and that's the lowest rate that levy has been in 17 years. We've got fiscal comparison between fiscal taxes collected in 20. The fiscal taxes collected in 20 were 13 million. Property taxes, I apologize, were $13,338,493. The property taxes budgeted for 2021 are $13,786,443. That's a 3.36% increase. Some of the additional budget expenditures are public safety. As no surprise to everybody, the increase of housing prisoners out of county has sharply increased over the last couple of years. We're going to put an additional sheriff's deputy on the street to get a better handle on public safety, and we are scheduled to start construction of a new bridge over Flint Creek on Highway 99 later this calendar year. So that's the highlights. If there's any comments or questions, we will start our 2-minute clock. It's funny, we get absorbed in these numbers, and then you're kind of absorbed in them for a month or two. But after this started, usually after they've been settled, especially now, they sort of faded into the background with the what is it? It's hard to remember when you're up to your butt in alligators that your original intention is to drain the swamp.
We've only had one question so far on the live stream, and that was for conservation, and Jeff Brewer has already taken care of it earlier.
Okay.
And it was regarding the campground.
So Colin, you're familiar with YouTube. What do you suppose the chances are of General Motors wanting to sponsor this?
I said it'd be pretty slim.
Never hurts to ask.
Probably have to buy all Chevy products.
Yeah, talking with the other IT directors here lately, they're all kind of scrambling. Everyone's trying to get something going in terms of electronic meetings, and everyone's kind of wanting to know what everyone else is doing and what they think's gonna work best. So it's been pretty interesting this last week. So.
I didn't know if you have anything like a screen that you can put documents under that everybody can see.
For the live stream, yeah, yeah, we can do that.
That might be something in the future.
It's not something I have on, but I bet if we wanted to, I could do that relatively cheap.
I think we can put most of it out. I think is your program out, Cheryl, PowerPoint? Is that out for the web?
The budget's on the website, the state software budget form, but not the PowerPoint, since I wasn't gonna do it today, I didn't put it out there.
Seeing nobody call in, I move we go off public hearing.
Second.
Terry?
Jim Carrey,
Yes.
Bob Beck,
Yes.
Tom Broker.
Yes. Okay. We have a resolution. Whereas the Des Moines County Board of Supervisors has considered the proposed fiscal 2020-21 county budget, and whereas a public hearing concerning the proposed county budget was held this date, March 24th, 2020, now be it resolved by the Des Moines County Board of Supervisors that the county budget fiscal 2020 to 2021 as set forth in the budget summary is hereby adopted, and the county auditor is directed to make the necessary filing of said budget and to establish the accounting records in accordance with the attached schedules.
Move to approve.
Second.
Terry?
Bob Beck?
Yes.
Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Tom Broker?
Yes.
Over here clicking my pen, I'm gonna get in trouble again. I'm gonna get me a pen that doesn't have a clicker on it. Okay.
Made a comment here a few weeks ago that I wouldn't be here today because of convention. Well, I attended the convention yesterday virtually. Worked good, worked really good. Need to say the convention was called off, just like everything else.
Okay, we have payroll claims reimbursements in the amount of $102.32, and non-cash taxable reimbursements in the amount of $75.
Move to approve.
Second.
Terry?
Bob Beck?
Yes.
Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Tom Broker?
Yes. We have, approval of janitorial quotes. Let's see. These are all the same.
Oh, the
Same
top.
one.
Can you
Okay.
guys hear me?
Yeah, I can. These are, I was just looking, these are all for the correctional vicinity, community services building, conservation office, and county roads building, correct?
Correct, yeah, this is for the cleaning of the jail, the community services building, conservation and secondary roads. That's every day at the jail and then once a week at the other buildings. Last few years, we've been doing a, one-year agreements. It gives us the opportunity to review, not only performance, but also pricing as well. So, in front of you, there's, I have two quotes for this coming year, effective April 1st. Service Master's quote was for a total of $49,920. Porter Cleaning gave us a quote for $47,050. So both of those companies do currently do cleaning for us. So at this time, we would recommend Porter Cleaning quote for the total of $47,050. It would save the county $2,870.
Move to approve Ford's quote.
Second.
Thank you, Rodney. Terry?
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Jim Carrey?
Thank you.
Yes. Thanks, Rodney.
Jim Carrey?
You're welcome, thank you.
Yes.
Bob Beck?
Yes.
Tom Broker?
Yes. Okay, we have, personnel actions. I'm filming it, that's got everything on the wrong side of it, because I'm having to get used to reaching in the wrong direction. I apologize. Okay, we have, 4 personnel actions for, conservation. We have Marissa Purdom, seasonal conservation tech. A new hire, summer intern rate is $12 an hour, starting on or after April 6th and ending before September 25th. We have Tanner Gebhardt, conservation summer intern, new hire, starting on or after May 4th and ending before August 29th, $12 an hour. We have a Kyle Ryle Koenig, summer intern conservation, starting on or after May 4th, 2020, ending before August 29th, 2020. New rate is $10 an hour. Cameron Whitcop, conservation summer intern, new hire, starting on or after May 4th, 2020, and ending before August 29th. New rate is $10 an hour.
Move to approve all 4 summer interns for conservation.
Second.
Terry?
Bob Beck?
Yes.
Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Tom Broker?
Yes. Okay, we have, 1 personnel action for the correctional center. We have Austin Dunham, full-time correctional officer, a 30-month step increase. His previous rate was $41,608.23 a year. The new rate is $42,426.82 a year.
Move to approve.
Second.
Terry?
Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Bob Beck?
Yes.
Tom Broker?
Yes. And we have a personnel action for maintenance. We have Gage Johnson, lead maintenance, new hire starting rate $28,110.02, effective March 23rd, 2020.
Move to approve.
Second.
Terry?
Bob Beck?
Yes.
Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Tom Broker?
Yes.
Like this is replacing a, retirement.
Yes, it is. You're right. Okay, we have the minutes. For the regular meeting of March 17th, 2020.
Move to approve.
Second.
Terry?
Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Bob Beck?
Yes.
Tom Broker?
Yes. And we have the minutes for the special session meeting on March 18th.
Move to approve.
Second.
Terry?
Bob Beck?
Yes.
Jim Carrey?
Yes.
Tom Broker?
Yes. Is there any other business?
Yeah, under other business here, I've got, you know, our Iowa workforce is, trying to realign with our 4 counties up north with Muscatine, Clinton, Scott and Jackson County. And the CEOs from the 8 counties, we have to have basically a secretary, and they've asked Des Moines County if we would be the employer of record. So we need to have a work session on that to find out what it's gonna amount to. So I'd like to get a work session set up. We're gonna have a meeting next week, but maybe I can find more out from Miranda and what's it gonna entail, but we do need to have a work session. It's gonna be kinda like the SEAL region, but we're not going to be the physical agent for it, no. But this is just for the board itself.
Okay. What do you mean, just for the board?
Well, the CEO board is separate from.
Oh, just for the
Just for the CEO.
CEO, okay, okay.
Yes, supervisor.
Well, that's based on Ontario for this. Or the auditor, I apologize.
So, we need to talk about it, set up a work session, talk about it.
Okay.
Let me know
Yeah.
which date you want that set up, so.
Yeah.
Work, do that after any meeting. We don't need a special session, do we?
No, we won't need a special session, then, just something, we need just a work session, talk about it, and then, if we do, then we'll have to put it on the agenda. They did approach us because the office is in Des Moines County, but, we're gonna be meeting in Muscatine County, so, we'll see what happens.
Thank you.
Everything I had was called off.
Okay, future agenda items.
None.
Committee reports.
I think I just give mine, other business.
Yeah, I did mine too.
Mine were all called off. I guess the one that we talked about early in the meeting, I probably ought to, up there just after, meet with department heads, elected officials, maybe above that or below that, just put COVID-19 update. Just have it regular on there for, hopefully we won't have to leave it on there too long. Yeah, we'll see. Public input. Anybody from the public or, department heads, anybody listening in would, like to make any comments, we will start the, timer. Wait 2 minutes.
Well, in the meantime, thank Colin and IT for setting this up.
Colin, you've done fantastic. This is great.
Thank all the department heads that come on here and took their time out to do this too. It takes a little longer for the meeting, so. Auditor's office.
Brian Carter has something.
What?
Brian Carter says he has something.
Oh.
What
Go
do you
ahead,
got,
speak
Brian?
up, Brian.
How do you hook up to Brian?
Brian, can you hear us?
Yeah,
We can-
I've tried a couple times and couldn't get through, that's why I texted.
We hear you.
All right, wanted to remind you that, I'll get with Terry and put it at the end of the meeting, but we still have to meet our deadlines for approving the 5-year construction program. So, we'll keep it as abbreviated as possible, but at the tail end of next week's meeting, I'll be down there and have, the similar information that I've had in the past. And we'll go through the 5-year program, and then, that'll give you guys a week to get public comment, and then the following week, we'll go ahead and approve it.
You guys might wanna wear ear protection, because about 20 people will hang up and meet all at once, it'll be one loud
Oh.
So I just wanted to remind you of that, and like I said, I'll get Terry for the agenda.
Thank you, Brian.
Thank you, Brian.
Thanks.
That's your alarm?
Yep, it's all.
Okay, hearing no further public input, we are adjourned.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.